The cold metal floor felt strange against Veltara's face. She could taste blood in her mouth. Her blue scales, once bright and shining, were now dark and dull. 3 holes in her chest leaked purple blood onto the broken ground. She was dying. She knew it. The research station around her was quiet now. Too quiet. The battle was over. Her team was gone. The enemy had won and left. Only she remained, broken and alone in the dark. Veltara tried to move her arm. Pain shot through her body like fire. One of her 3 hearts was not beating anymore. The other 2 were getting weaker. Her breathing came in short, painful gasps. This was good, she told herself. This was the way it should be. She was Katari. She was a warrior. Warriors did not cry for help. Warriors did not beg to live. When a warrior could no longer fight, there was only one honorable choice: the silent honor. Death with dignity. Veltara closed her eyes and began the death song of her people. Her voice was weak, but the words were clear. The ancient words that every Cathari child learned. The words that would carry her spirit to the star fields where dead warriors lived forever. In battle, I stood strong, she whispered. In defeat, I stand proud. My blade is broken, but my honor remains. I go to the endless war in the sky. The song made her feel better. Her ancestors had sung these same words. Her father had sung them when he died in the war with the Nexus Empire. Her brother had sung them when his ship exploded above the planet Kethfar. Now it was her turn. She was ready. Then she heard footsteps. Veltara opened her eyes. Someone was walking through the broken station. The steps were light and careful. Not the heavy boots of Cathari soldiers, not the metal feet of war machines. These were soft steps, quiet steps. Fear filled her chest. What if the enemy had come back? What if they wanted to take her prisoner? That would be the worst shame of all. A Cathari warrior must never be captured, alive. She tried to reach for her weapon, but her arm would not obey. The plasma rifle lay 3 feet away. It might as well have been on another planet. The footsteps came closer. Over here, a voice called. The voice spoke in Standard, the language used by most species in the galaxy. But the accent was strange, soft and round, not harsh like Cathari speech. I found someone, the voice said again. More footsteps came running. 3 people, maybe 4. They were talking to each other in a language Veltara did not know. The words were quick and musical. A light shone in her face. She tried to turn away, but her neck would not move. She's alive, said the first voice in Standard. It was a male voice, calm and strong. Badly hurt, but alive. Veltara saw the speaker now. He was human. She had never seen a human before, but she knew what they looked like from the war reports. This one was young, with black hair and dark eyes. He wore white clothes with red marks on them, a healer's clothes. 2 more humans appeared beside him. One was a female with long black hair tied back. The other was a male, shorter than the first, carrying a large bag. No, Veltara whispered in Standard. The word came out broken and weak. No help. The first human knelt beside her. His hands moved over her body, checking her wounds. His touch was gentle but sure. She's trying to talk, he said to the others. Then to Veltara. Don't try to speak. You're badly injured. We're going to help you. No, Veltara said again, louder this time. Death and honor must die. The human looked confused. He said something to the others in their language. The female human opened the bag and began taking out strange tools. Listen to me, the male human said. He looked right into Veltara's eyes. I'm Dr. Hyunwoo. This is Nurse Jihai and Medic Taeho. We're here to help you. You're going to be okay. Veltara tried to shake her head. Warrior cannot accept help. Must die with honor. Dr. Hyunwoo's face became serious. I don't know what that means, but I know what this means. He pointed at her wounds. You're dying. I can stop that. Want to die? Veltara said. Honor demands it. Well, honor will have to wait, Dr. Hyunwoo said. He turned to the others. Jihai, start an IV line. Taeho, get the portable surgical unit ready. We need to stop the bleeding fast. The female human, Jihai, came forward with a long, thin tube. She looked at Veltara's arm, then at Dr. Hyunwoo. Her blood vessels are different, Jihai said. I don't know where to put the needle. Try the main artery in her neck, Dr. Hyunwoo said. Be careful, her skin looks thick. Jihai nodded and moved to Veltara's neck. Her hands were steady and sure. Veltara felt a small pain as the needle went in, then coolness as strange liquid flowed into her body. No, Veltara said, but her voice was getting weaker. Stop. I am warrior. I choose death. Dr. Hyunwoo was working on her chest wounds now. His hands moved fast, pressing cloth against the holes to stop the bleeding. I know you think you want to die, he said without looking up. But I don't let people die. Not if I can help it. That's not who I am. The third human, Taeho, had set up a machine that beeped and hummed. Strange lights moved across a small screen. He attached wires to Veltara's body. Her heart rate is very low, Taeho said. Wait, she has 3 hearts. That's different. Can you monitor all 3? Dr. Hyunwoo asked. I think so. This one is stopped. These 2 are very weak. Dr. Hyunwoo cursed in his own language. Then he said, We need to get her to the ship. Fast. Veltara felt her body being lifted. The humans had brought a floating bed. They placed her on it carefully, making sure the wires and tubes stayed connected. Please, Veltara whispered. Let me die. It is the only honor left. Dr. Hyunwoo walked beside the floating bed as they moved through the broken station. You keep talking about honor, he said. Where I come from, there's no honor in giving up. There's only honor in fighting. And right now, I'm fighting for your life. You don't understand, Veltara said. Qatari who cannot fight must die. It is the way. Well, it's not my way, Dr. Hyunwoo said. My way is simple. I see someone hurt, I help them. I see someone dying, I stop them from dying. That's what I do. They reached the human ship. It was small but looked strong. The inside was clean and white, full of machines Veltara had never seen. As they moved her to a room with a soft bed, Veltara felt something strange. The pain in her chest was less now. Her breathing was easier. The liquid they had put in her body was making her stronger. But this was wrong. This was shameful. A warrior who could not fight was not worthy of life. Why? She asked Dr. Hyunwoo as he checked her wounds again. Why do you save me? I am your enemy. Dr. Hyunwoo looked at her with kind eyes. Are you my enemy right now? Are you trying to hurt me? Veltara thought about it. No, I cannot fight, I am broken. Then you're not my enemy, Dr. Hyunwoo said. You're just someone who needs help. And I help people. That's what humans do. Veltara closed her eyes. She was confused. Everything she had been taught said this was wrong. She should have died with honor. She should have sung the death song and gone to join her ancestors. But these humans would not let her die. They fought death itself like it was an enemy they could defeat. Maybe, Veltara thought as she felt herself getting sleepy. Maybe there were different kinds of honor. The last thing she heard before darkness took her was Dr. Hyunwoo talking to his team. Monitor her all night, he said. I want to know if anything changes. We're going to save her life, whether she wants us to or not. Despite everything, Veltara felt something she had not felt in a long time. She felt hope. Veltara woke up angry. She was alive. That was the first problem. The second problem was that she felt better, much better. Her chest did not hurt as much. Her breathing was easy. 2 of her 3 hearts were beating strong and steady. This was wrong. This was shameful. She opened her eyes and saw white walls around her. Machines beeped softly nearby. Tubes ran from her arms to bags of clear liquid hanging above her bed. The room smelled clean, like the healing chambers on Cathari ships. But this was not a Cathari ship. This was a human ship, and she was still alive. Good. You're awake, said a voice. Veltara turned her head. Dr. Hyunwoo sat in a chair beside her bed. He looked tired, but he smiled when he saw her eyes open. How do you feel? He asked. Angry, Veltara said. Her voice was stronger now. You should have let me die. Dr. Hyunwoo nodded. You said that before, but you're alive now, so let's work with that. You don't understand, Veltara said. She tried to sit up, but pain shot through her body. I failed in battle. My team is dead. I could not protect them. A warrior who fails like this must accept the silent honor, must die with dignity. Your team is dead? Dr. Hyunwoo asked. His voice became soft. I'm sorry, that must hurt. Veltara was surprised. She expected him to say her team deserved to die, or to ask for information about Cathari, military secrets. Instead, he looked sad for her loss. They were good warriors, she said quietly. They deserved better than death in that cold place. Tell me about them, Dr. Hyunwoo said. For a moment, Veltara wanted to share her memories, to speak about her friends who would never come home. But then she remembered where she was. No, she said. I will not speak of them to enemies. Let me die so I can join them with honor. Dr. Hyunwoo sighed. I keep telling you, I don't let people die. Not on my watch. Not if I can help it. The door opened and two more humans came in. One was a woman with short black hair and glasses. The other was a young man carrying a data pad. This is Dr. So-young, Hyunwoo said, pointing to the woman. And this is Nurse Min-ho. They've been helping take care of you. Dr. So-young came to the side of the bed. She looked at the machines, then at Veltara's wounds. The healing is going well, she said to Dr. Hyunwoo. Her skin is closing up faster than I expected, but there's still damage to her internal organs and her nervous system is more complex than ours. Can you fix it? Dr. Hyunwoo asked. I think so, but I need to understand her biology better. I've been reading the medical files we captured from that Cathari ship last year. Her people are fascinating. 3 hearts, redundant organ systems, enhanced healing ability. Veltara stared at her. You study my people? Dr. So-young looked embarrassed. Only the medical information. We need to understand different species if we're going to help them. I hope that doesn't offend you. Help them? Veltara said. We are at war. Humans and Cathari kill each other. Some humans and some Cathari fight, Dr. So-young said. But I'm a doctor. I help anyone who needs it. Human, Cathari, or any other species. Nurse Min-ho stepped forward. Your breakfast, he said, holding up a tray. We're not sure what Cathari eat, so we tried to make something safe. Veltara looked at the tray. There were fruits, some kind of grain, and a clear soup. It smelled good, but she turned her head away. I will not eat, she said. If you will not let me die in battle, I will starve myself. That is also an honorable death. Dr. Hyunwoo made a frustrated sound. Why is everything about dying with you? What's so wrong with living? You would not understand, Veltara said. Humans have no honor. The room became very quiet. Dr. So-young and Nurse Min-ho looked uncomfortable. Dr. Hyunwoo's face became serious. No honor? He said slowly. Let me tell you about honor. He stood up and walked to the window. Outside, Veltara could see stars moving past. Last year, Dr. Hyunwoo said, we were called to help after a battle. Hundreds of wounded soldiers from both sides, humans and Cathari, all mixed together. Do you know what we did? Veltara said nothing. We helped them all, Dr. Hyunwoo continued. We didn't ask which side they fought for. We didn't care who started the fight. We just saw people who were hurt, and we helped them. 3 of my medical team died that day. They died protecting wounded Cathari soldiers from getting shot again. He turned back to face her. My friend Jinwoo died covering a Cathari medic with his own body. The Cathari medic lived. Jinwoo didn't. He was 26 years old. He had a wife and a baby daughter. Veltara felt something strange in her chest. It was not pain from her wounds, it was something else. Why would he do that? She asked. Because that's what we do, Dr. Hyunwoo said. That's our honor. We protect life. All life. Even when it costs us everything. Dr. So Young came closer to the bed. In my medical school, we take an oath, she said. We promise to help anyone who needs it, rich or poor, friend or enemy. The oath doesn't care about politics or war. It only cares about healing. That's stupid, Veltara said, but her voice was not angry anymore. You could all be killed. Yes, Nurse Minho said. We could be, but that's the choice we make. We fight death, not people. Veltara was quiet for a long time. She thought about her own people, the Cathari. They were brave. They were strong. They followed ancient traditions of honor and battle. But would a Cathari warrior die to save an enemy? Would they put healing above fighting? She was not sure. Your wounds are bad, Dr. So Young said gently. Some of your bones are broken. One of your hearts is damaged. Parts of your nervous system are not working right. You might never fight the same way again. Then I should die, Veltara said automatically. Or, Dr. Hyunwoo said, you could live differently, find a new purpose, and I'm a warrior. Fighting is all I know. Then learn something new, Dr. So Young said. I used to be a fighter pilot. I was good at destroying things. Now I'm good at fixing them. I like fixing things better. The door opened again. A man in a uniform came in. He had gold marks on his collar that meant he was important. This is Captain Boram, Dr. Hyunwoo said. This is his ship. Captain Boram looked at Veltara with curious eyes. How is our patient, doctor? Physically, she's improving, Dr. Hyunwoo said. Mentally, she's having some trouble adjusting. I want to die, Veltara said to the captain. Your people won't let me. Captain Boram sat down in the chair Dr. Hyunwoo had been using. May I ask why you want to die? I failed my mission. My team is dead. I can no longer fight properly. Among my people, this means I should choose the silent honor. I see, Captain Boram said. And if you don't choose this silent honor? Then I bring shame to my family. My ancestors will not welcome me when I die. I will be forgotten by history. Captain Boram nodded slowly. That sounds very hard. But let me ask you something. Is there any other way to bring honor to your family? Veltara frowned. What do you mean? Well, you're alive. You're here with us. Maybe there's something you can do while you're alive that would make your ancestors proud. Like what? I don't know, Captain Boram said. But you're smart, you're strong, maybe you could help people. Maybe you could save lives instead of taking them. Cathari are warriors, not healers. Who says you can't be both? Dr. So Young asked. Some of the best doctors I know used to be soldiers. They understand wounds because they've had them. They understand fear because they've felt it. Veltara looked around the room at all the humans. They were watching her with kind eyes, not the eyes of captors or enemies, the eyes of people who cared. You really won't let me die? She asked. Not if we can help it, Dr. Hyunwoo said. Then what happens to me? That's up to you, Captain Boram said. You can spend your time here, being angry and sad. Or you can spend it learning something new. Maybe something that would make your ancestors proud in a different way. Veltara was quiet for a long time. Finally, she looked at the tray of food Nurse Minho had brought. The soup, she said quietly. What kind of soup is it? Minho smiled. Vegetable soup, very mild, good for healing. I will try some, Veltara said. Dr. Hyunwoo's face lit up. Good, that's a start. As Nurse Minho helped her sit up to eat, Veltara thought about what the humans had said. Maybe there were different kinds of honor. Maybe there were different ways to serve. Maybe there were different ways to live. The soup was warm and tasted good. For the first time since she had awakened, Veltara felt something other than anger. She felt curious. 3 days had passed since Veltara first ate the soup. She was getting stronger each day. Her wounds were healing well. The machines around her bed beeped less often now. Dr. Hyunwoo said her third heart was starting to work again. But the most interesting thing was watching the humans. Veltara had expected them to act like the stories she had heard. The war report said humans were cruel and selfish. They said humans only cared about themselves. They said humans were cowards who ran from real fights. None of this seemed to be true. Every morning, Captain Boram came to see her. Not to ask questions about Cathari military secrets. Not to threaten her or make demands. He just wanted to know how she felt. Sometimes he brought her small gifts. A book with pictures of Earth. A music player with soft sounds. A blanket that was warmer than the standard medical ones. "Why do you do this?" Veltara asked him one morning. "I am your prisoner. Your enemy." Captain Boram sat in the chair beside her bed. "Are you planning to hurt anyone on my ship?" "I cannot hurt anyone. I am too weak." "That's not what I asked," Captain Boram said. "If you were strong, if you had weapons, would you try to hurt my crew?" Veltara thought about it. A few days ago, the answer would have been yes, but now she had watched these people work. She had seen their kindness. The idea of hurting them felt wrong. "No," she said quietly. "I would not hurt them." "Then you're not my enemy," Captain Boram said. "You're just someone far from home who needs help." In the afternoons, Communications Officer Jae-won visited her. He was young and friendly, with a quick smile and gentle hands. He brought card games and puzzles to help her exercise her fingers and mind. "My doctor says I need to move my hands more," Veltara told him one day as they played a card game called Bridge. "The nerve damage makes them clumsy." "These games will help," Jae-won said. "My grandmother had a stroke last year. Her hands didn't work well after that. We played cards every day until they got better." "Did it work?" "Yes. She got so good she started beating me." Jae-won laughed. "She said I let her win too many times before." Veltara liked these games. They made her think in new ways. Qatari games were usually about war and conquest. These human games were about cooperation and problem-solving. "In this game," she said, looking at her cards, "partners work together to win." "That's right. We're on the same team against the other pair. But we can't tell each other what cards we have. We have to figure it out from how we play." "Strange," Veltara said. "Cathari games are about defeating everyone else, even allies." "Maybe that's why humans and Cathari have trouble understanding each other," Jae-won said thoughtfully. "We learn different things from our games." Engineer Yoo-jin came by in the evenings. She was quiet and smart, always carrying tools and small machines. She had modified Veltara's bed to be more comfortable for her different body shape. She had also created a special brace for Veltara's damaged arm. "Your bones heal differently than ours," Yoo-jin explained as she adjusted the brace. "They're harder but more brittle. This brace will support them while they mend." "You did not have to do this," Veltara said. "I know, but I like solving problems, making things work better. Your arm was a problem, so I fixed it." "Is that why you became an engineer?" Yoo-jin smiled. "My father was a farmer. His machines always broke down. I learned to fix them so he could grow food for our village. I like helping people that way." But it was Dr. So-young who taught Veltara the most about humans. Every evening, Dr. So-young came to check Veltara's wounds and change her bandages. While she worked, they talked about many things. About medicine, about their different worlds, about the war that had brought them together. "I don't understand humans," Veltara said one evening. "Your people have everything. Rich worlds, powerful ships, advanced technology. Why do you risk all of that to save people like me?" Dr. So-young was quiet for a moment as she cleaned a healing cut on Veltara's shoulder. "Can I tell you a story?" she asked. "Yes. When I was a child, there was a fire in my neighborhood. A big apartment building caught fire in the middle of the night. Many families lived there. My father was a firefighter. He went into that burning building 7 times to rescue people." Dr. So-young's hands were gentle as she applied new bandages. "The Seventh time the building collapsed. My father was trapped inside. He died saving a family he had never met before, a mother and 3 small children. "I'm sorry," Veltara said. She meant it. The strange thing is, the family he died saving, they weren't even human. They were refugees from the Centauri colonies. A different species entirely. Blue skin, 4 arms, completely alien to us. Dr. So Young finished with the bandages and sat down. At the funeral, that alien mother came to speak. She could barely speak our language, but she wanted to say something. She said that my father had shown her what humans really were. Not conquerors or enemies, but protectors of life itself. What happened to her family? They stayed in our town. The children grew up there. One of them became a doctor like me. She said she wanted to save lives the way my father had saved hers. Veltara felt something strange in her chest again. That warm feeling she didn't understand. Your father, he was honored for this? Yes. We built a statue of him in the town square, but you know what? He wouldn't have cared about that. He just saw people in danger and helped them. That's what humans do. Not all humans, Veltara said. There are human soldiers who kill Cathari. You're right, Dr. So Young said sadly. Not all humans are good, and I'm sure not all Cathari are bad. War makes people do terrible things sometimes, but that doesn't change what's right. What do you mean? I mean every life matters. Human, Cathari, anyone. When I see someone hurt, I don't ask what species they are or which side they fight for. I just see someone who needs help. That night, Veltara couldn't sleep. She thought about everything the humans had told her. About Dr. Hyun Woo's friend who died protecting enemy soldiers. About Dr. So Young's father who died saving alien strangers. About Captain Bo-Ram, who treated prisoners like guests. These humans were nothing like the stories she had been told. The next morning, alarms started blaring throughout the ship. Veltara sat up in her bed, her heart's racing. She knew that sound. It was the alarm that meant enemy ships were approaching. Dr. Hyun Woo ran into her room, followed by Nurse Min Ho. "What's happening?" Veltara asked. "Cathari ships," Dr. Hyun Woo said grimly. 3 of them. They're demanding we stop and prepare to be boarded. Veltara felt cold fear in her stomach. If Cathari soldiers found her alive on this ship, they would know she had been healed by enemies. They would know she had chosen to live, instead of dying with honor. "They'll kill me," she whispered. "What?" Dr. Hyun-woo looked at her with concern. "If they find me alive, they'll execute me for bringing shame to our people. They'll kill you too for helping me." Dr. Hyun-woo and Min-ho looked at each other. "What do you want to do?" Dr. Hyun-woo asked. Veltara was surprised. "What do you mean?" "I mean, it's your choice. We can hide you, try to keep you safe, or if you really want to go back to your people, we won't stop you." Veltara stared at him. After everything they had done for her, after all the time and care they had given her, they were willing to let her go back to face execution. "You would do that, even knowing they might kill you for helping me?" "It's your life," Dr. Hyun-woo said simply. "Your choice." At that moment, Veltara understood something important about humans. They didn't just talk about respecting life. They respected choice too, even the choice to die if that's what someone truly wanted. But as she looked at Dr. Hyun-woo's kind face, at Nurse Min-ho's worried expression, at all the humans who had worked so hard to save her life, Veltara realized something. She didn't want to die anymore. "Hide me," she said quietly. "Are you sure?" Dr. Hyun-woo asked. "Yes. I want to live. I want to learn more about humans, about this different kind of honor you have." Dr. Hyun-woo smiled. "Good. We'll keep you safe." As the humans prepared to face her people's ships, Veltara made herself a promise. If she survived this, she would find a way to honor both her ancestors and these strange, wonderful humans who had saved her life. She would find a new way to be a warrior who protected life instead of ending it. The human ship shook as the Cathari vessels came alongside. Veltara could hear the docking clamps locking into place with loud metal sounds. Her people were coming aboard. Dr. Hyunwoo had hidden her in a storage room deep inside the ship. The room was small and dark, filled with medical supplies. Veltara sat on the floor behind stacks of boxes, trying to stay very quiet. She could hear footsteps in the hallways above. Heavy boots, Qatari soldiers searching the ship. "Why are you in this sector?" a voice demanded in Standard. The voice was deep and harsh. Veltara knew that voice. It was War Prime Chekstar, her former commander. "We're a medical ship, Captain," Boram replied calmly. "We respond to distress calls. We were investigating an emergency beacon from the research station." "Show me your records," Chekstar said. Veltara heard papers rustling, data pads beeping. She pressed herself further back, behind the boxes. If Chekstar found her, everything would be over, not just for her but for all the humans who had helped her. "You found no survivors?" Chekstar asked. "No," Captain Boram said. "The station was badly damaged. We found evidence of a battle but no living beings." Veltara closed her eyes. Captain Boram was lying to protect her. If the Qatari discovered this lie, they would consider it an act of war. "My warrior Veltara was on that station," Chekstar said. "She led a team to destroy enemy weapons research. They have not reported back." "I'm sorry for your loss, Captain," Boram said. "War is terrible. Too many good people die." There was a long silence. Then Chekstar spoke again, his voice colder than before. "Humans do not understand loss. You do not understand honor. You run from battle like cowards." "We fight when we must," Captain Boram said quietly. "But we prefer to heal rather than harm." "Weakness," Chekstar spat. "This is why Qatari will win this war. We are strong. We choose death before dishonor." Veltara felt sick hearing her commander's words. A week ago, she would have agreed with him. Now, after seeing how the humans lived and worked, his words sounded empty and cruel. The search continued for 2 hours. Qatari soldiers went through every room, every storage compartment. Twice, soldiers came to the door of Veltara's hiding place. Both times, they moved on without entering. Finally, the footsteps faded away. The ship stopped shaking. The Qatari vessels had left. Dr. Hyunwoo came to get her an hour later. "They're gone," he said, helping her stand up. Her legs were stiff from sitting so long. "Are you okay?" "Yes," Veltara said. "Thank you. You saved my life again." "Captain Boram saved your life," Dr. Hyunwoo said. "He lied to a Qatari war prime to protect you. That took courage." Veltara nodded. She understood what this meant. Captain Boram had risked his ship and his crew for her. An enemy, a stranger. That evening, she asked to speak with Captain Boram privately. "You could have given me to Chekstar," she said when he came to her room. "It would have been safer for your ship." Captain Boram sat down in his usual chair. "Yes, I could have. Why didn't you?" "Because you asked us to protect you. Because you chose to trust us instead of going back to face execution. I won't betray that trust." "Chekstar was my commander," Veltara said quietly. "I served under him for 5 years. He trained me to be a warrior." "What kind of commander was he?" Veltara thought about it. Hard, demanding. He believed in the old ways, honor through battle, death before surrender. He was a good Qatari. But he would have killed me without hesitation if he found me here. Not because I had betrayed military secrets, not because I had helped enemies, but simply because I chose to live when I was supposed to die. Captain Boram was quiet for a moment. "That seems wasteful." "Wasteful? You're intelligent, skilled, brave. Even injured, you could contribute something valuable to the galaxy. Killing you for choosing life over death, that's just waste." Veltara had never thought about it that way before. 2 days later, the alarms sounded again. This time it was not Qatari ships approaching. It was a distress signal from a nearby space station. The station was under attack. "All hands to battle stations," Captain Boram announced over the ship's communication system. "We're responding to an emergency." Veltara watched from her room's small window as they approached the station. It was a neutral trading post used by many different species. Smoke poured from several sections. Small ships were attacking it with energy weapons. "Cathari raiders," Dr. Hyunwoo said, joining her at the window. "Extremist groups that attack civilian targets." "My people are doing this?" Veltara asked, horrified. "Not your people. These are outlaws. They don't follow any military code. They just destroy things for profit." Veltara watched the attack and felt shame burning in her chest. Whether they were official military or not, those ships carried Cathari markings. They were her species, killing innocent civilians. "We have to help," she said. "The medical team is getting ready," Dr. Hyunwoo said. "We'll treat the wounded after the attack stops." "No," Veltara said, standing up despite the pain in her legs. "I mean, we have to stop the attack." Dr. Hyunwoo looked surprised. "You're in no condition to fight. I'm in no condition to watch innocents die either." Captain Boram's voice came over the communication system again. "Medical teams prepare for casualties. Security teams prepare for combat. This is not a drill." Veltara made a decision that would have seemed impossible a week ago. "I want to help," she told Dr. Hyunwoo. "Help how? I know Cathari tactics, I know their weapons. I can help your security teams fight them more effectively." Dr. Hyunwoo stared at her. "You want to fight your own people?" "I want to protect innocent lives," Veltara said. "Those raiders don't represent true Cathari honor. They're just killers." Security Chief Woo Jin and Tactical Officer Subin came to her room within minutes. They listened carefully as Veltara explained Cathari attack patterns and weak points in their ship designs. "Their shields are strongest in front," she said, pointing to diagrams on Subin's datapad. "But the generator is located here. On the underside, a precise hit can disable their weapons." "You're sure about this?" Woo Jin asked. "I helped design those modifications," Veltara said. "I know every weakness." The battle was fierce but short. Using Veltara's information, the human security teams disabled 3 raider ships quickly. The 4th ship tried to escape, but was captured by station security. During the fighting, Veltara helped in the medical bay. Dr. So Young and her team worked on wounded civilians from the station. Humans, Altarians, even 2 injured Cathari traders who had been caught in the attack. "Hold this," Dr. So Young said, placing Veltara's hands on a pressure bandage over a human child's wound. Veltara held the bandage steady while Dr. So Young worked. The child was unconscious but breathing, so small and fragile. "Will she live?" Veltara asked. "Yes," Dr. So Young said with confidence. "Thanks to you holding pressure on that wound." Later, as they treated one of the wounded Cathari traders, the alien looked up at Veltara with surprise. "You are Cathari," he said in their native language. "Why do you help enemies?" "I help anyone who needs it," Veltara replied. "That is what I have learned from humans." The trader looked confused. "But honor, tradition, honor is not about who you refuse to help," Veltara said. "Honor is about who you choose to save." At the end of the day, medic Taeho came to find her. He looked tired and sad. "What's wrong?" Veltara asked. "We lost someone," Taeho said quietly. "During the evacuation, a young engineer from the station. He was trying to protect a group of children when the raiders broke through. He didn't make it." Veltara felt a sharp pain in her chest. Not from her wounds, but from something deeper. "I'm sorry," she said. "His name was Chen. He was 23, had a girlfriend back on Earth who was waiting for him to come home." Taeho sat down heavily on a nearby chair. "I keep thinking, if we had gotten there faster, if we had fought better, maybe he would still be alive." Veltara looked at this human who had helped save her life. He was blaming himself for not saving someone else, even though he had risked everything to help strangers. "Taeho," she said gently, "how many people did we save today?" 47 wounded. Maybe 30 more. Who would have died if we hadn't stopped the attack? And how many of those people are alive because you were brave enough to help them? Tejo looked up at her. I don't know. Most of them, I guess. Chen died protecting children, Veltara said. You lived protecting everyone else. Both of you showed true honor. For the first time since she had met humans, Veltara felt like she was teaching them something instead of learning from them. The raiders who attacked this station, she continued, they think honor comes from being strong enough to take what they want. But real honor comes from being strong enough to protect what matters. Tejo smiled sadly. When did you become so wise? When you humans refused to let me die, Veltara said. You taught me that life is worth fighting for. Now I'm learning to fight for it myself. That night, as Veltara lay in her bed thinking about the day, she realized something important had changed inside her. She was no longer Veltara the failed warrior, waiting to die with honor. She was Veltara the protector, ready to live with purpose. 6 months later, Veltara stood in the main medical bay of Station Hope, watching young Cathari students practice human surgical techniques on training models. Her hands were steady now. Her 3 hearts beat strong and regular. The scars on her chest had faded to thin silver lines, but the biggest change was not in her body, it was in her purpose. Remember, she told the students in Cathari, the small blood vessels are very delicate. Use gentle pressure, like you are touching a flower petal. One of the young Cathari, a female named Cathara, looked up with frustrated eyes. This is too slow, Veltara teacher. In battle, speed matters more than gentleness. Veltara smiled. 6 months ago, she would have agreed. In battle, yes. But this is not battle. This is healing. Here, patience saves more lives than speed. She moved to Cathara's side and guided her hands. See? Slow and careful. The wound closes better this way. The patient heals faster. Dr. Hyunwoo entered the training room, carrying a data pad and wearing his usual kind smile. He watched the lesson for a moment before approaching Veltara. How are they doing? He asked quietly. Better each day, Veltara replied. Cathara still thinks like a warrior, but she is learning. Young Dexmore has very gentle hands. He will make an excellent surgeon. And you? How are you doing? Veltara looked around the medical bay. Human and Cathari doctors worked side by side, treating patients from a dozen different species. The sight still amazed her sometimes. I am content, she said. This feels right. Dr. Hyunwoo nodded. Dr. So Young wants to see you when you're done here. Something about the new joint research project. After the lesson ended, Veltara walked to Dr. So Young's office. The human doctor was studying holographic displays of alien anatomy, comparing different species' circulatory systems. Veltara, Dr. So Young said, looking up. Perfect timing. I wanted to show you something exciting. She gestured to the hologram. It showed a 3-dimensional model of a heart, but not a human heart or a Cathari heart. This was something new. What am I looking at? Veltara asked. An artificial heart that can work for any species, Dr. So Young said proudly. Based on designs you and engineer Eugene created together, it adapts to different blood chemistries, different pressures, different rhythms. Veltara studied the design carefully. This could save thousands of lives. Millions, Dr. So Young corrected. And it's only possible because we combined human engineering with Cathari medical knowledge. Your people understand biological systems in ways we never imagined. The door chimed, and Nurse Jihai entered carrying a message pad. Sorry to interrupt, Jihai said. But we just received a priority communication for Veltara. Veltara took the pad with curiosity. Who would send her a priority message? As she read, her face became serious. What is it? Dr. So Young asked with concern. A message from the Cathari. Medical Council, Veltara said slowly. They want to meet with me. Is that good or bad? I don't know. The Medical Council is separate from the military. They focus on healing, not fighting. But they have never contacted me before. 3 days later, Veltara sat in a conference room aboard a neutral diplomatic station. Across from her were 5 members of the Cathari Medical Council, their blue scales shimmering in the soft light. The eldest member, High Healer Vextani, spoke first. Veltara, daughter of Commander Thal Avan, we have heard strange stories about you. What kind of stories? Veltara asked carefully. Stories that you work with humans, that you teach them our medical secrets, that you help them treat Cathari patients. Veltara lifted her chin proudly. All of this is true. The council members exchanged glances. Another healer, John Mek, leaned forward. You were declared dead with honor after the battle at the research station. Your name was added to the Wall of Heroes. Your family received military honors. I know, Veltara said, and I know that my choice to live has brought them shame. Perhaps, High Healer Vextani said, but it has also brought something else, knowledge. She activated a holographic display. It showed medical statistics, survival rates, treatment outcomes. Since you began working with humans, the survival rate for Cathari patients in neutral hospitals has increased by 40%. New surgical techniques, new medicines, new ways of healing that combine our knowledge with theirs. Veltara stared at the numbers. I did not know. Furthermore, John Mek added, 3 Cathari medical students have applied to study at human medical schools. They want to learn what you have learned. The military council calls this betrayal, said another healer, Korthani. They say you have dishonored our people by sharing secrets with enemies. But we are not soldiers, High Healer Vextani said, firmly. We are healers. Our oath is to preserve life, not to preserve military advantages. She stood and walked to the large window that showed stars beyond. Veltara, we offer you a choice. Return to Cathari space. Work with us to establish formal medical cooperation with human doctors. Help us build healing centers where both species can learn from each other. And if I refuse, then you remain exiled, but with our blessing. The medical council will no longer consider you dishonored. Your work with humans will be recognized as a new form of service to our people. Veltara was quiet for a long time. Finally, she spoke. May I have time to consider this? Of course. Take all the time you need. That evening, Veltara walked through the gardens of Station Hope with Captain Boram. The artificial trees were beautiful, but she found herself missing the real forests of her home world. What will you do? Captain Boram asked. I don't know, Veltara admitted. Part of me wants to go home, to see my family again, even if they are still angry with me. But this place has become home too. These people, Dr. Hyunwoo, Dr. So Young, all of you, you are my family now. Captain Boram smiled. Families don't have to be limited by species, or by distance. What do you mean? I mean you could do both. Spend part of your time working with the Cathari Medical Council, and part of your time here. Build bridges between our peoples. Veltara stopped walking and looked at him. You would allow that? Veltara, you're not our prisoner anymore. You haven't been for months. You're our colleague, our friend. Whatever you choose to do, we'll support you. The next morning, Veltara gave her answer to the medical council. I will help you, she said. But I have conditions. High Healer Vextani nodded. Name them. First, any Cathari who studies with humans must also teach humans about our medical knowledge. Learning must go both ways. Agreed. Second, the healing centers must treat all species equally, human Cathari or anyone else who needs help. Agreed. Third, no military interference. These will be places of healing, not war. That may be difficult to guarantee, John Mek said. The military council has strong opinions about cooperation with humans. Then change their opinions, Veltara said firmly. Show them the results. Show them how many lives we save when we work together instead of apart. 1 year later, Veltara stood in the opening ceremony of the first joint human Cathari medical center. The building was beautiful, with architecture that combined the flowing organic style of Cathari design with the clean functionality of human engineering. Dr. Hyunwoo stood beside her, now serving as co-director of the center. Dr. So Young led a mixed team of human and Cathari researchers. Nurse Jihai trained both species in emergency care techniques. In the crowd, Veltara saw faces she recognized. Captain Boram had come for the ceremony. Engineer Yu Jin was there with the team that had designed the center's advanced medical equipment. Even Nurse Min Ho had taken leave from his ship duties to attend. But the face that made her heart race with joy was unexpected. In the back of the crowd stood an older Cathari female, with silver-blue scales and kind eyes. Her mother. After the ceremony, they met in a quiet garden behind the medical center. "Mother?" Veltara said, not sure what else to say. "My daughter," her mother replied. "You look different, happier." "I am different. I found a new purpose." "The military council still considers you exiled," her mother said. "Your father, he struggles with that. He trained you to be a warrior, not a healer." "I am still a warrior," Veltara said. "I just chose a different enemy. I fight death itself now, and humans taught me that this is a war we can actually win." Her mother smiled, the first time Veltara had seen that smile in over a year. "Your father may never understand," she said. "But I do. You bring honor to our family in a new way." "Do you really believe that?" "I believe," her mother said, "that honor is not about how you die. It is about how you choose to live." That evening, Veltara stood in her new office, looking out at the medical bay where human and Cathari doctors worked together to save lives. Young Cathara was teaching a human student how to treat Cathari nerve damage. Dr. So Young was learning to use Cathari healing instruments. Dr. Hyun Woo entered with 2 cups of tea, the human kind that Veltara had learned to enjoy. "Any regrets?" he asked, handing her a cup. Veltara thought about the question. 6 months ago, she had been a dying warrior, ready to accept honorable death. Now she was a teacher, a healer, a bridge between 2 peoples who had been enemies. "None," she said finally. "You humans taught me that the highest honor comes not from dying well, but from helping others live well." Through the window she could see the stars where warships still fought their ancient battles. But here, in this place, humans and Cathari worked together to heal instead of harm. It was, Veltara thought, a much better way to be a warrior. "Thank you," she said to Dr. Hyun-woo, "for not letting me die with honor." "Thank you," he replied, "for teaching us that there are many kinds of honor." Outside, the stars shone on a galaxy where enemies had become healers, and where the greatest victory was not in battle, but in the choice to save a life. Any life, from any world. Even the life of a wounded alien warrior who had once believed that death was the only honor worth seeking.